Hello, and welcome to another Facts and Dimensions Spotlight Dataset. In this one, I'm going to cover the Office for Health Improvement and Disparities, or what used to be known as Public Health England, fingertips data. Now, this system that they put together is absolutely superb. They've taken a huge range, wide range of stats and figures and managed to put it in such a way that you can actually load all the data of all these different um, metrics into a single massive table. We've actually done it into multiple tables because they're so huge, one for each of these profiles that you can see here. We haven't done all of them, we've done most of them. Basically, whenever someone says, can you add one, we'll add it. But most of the ones here are already here. So I'm going to go into, well, let's stay on their website for a bit because it's so brilliant. Mental health, child and maternal health. Okay. They're all the same, as in they work the same. So this is their front end. You've got all these different metrics, indicators they're calling them, and you can just set it to download and download the entire profile with all the stats, and you can zoom in on that. So if you obviously our customers want this data in SQL, so they can add them to the other data sets and put them into Tableau or whatever. But you can get the data via our API as well. Right, so going to SQL. I've just run a little query on our history of imports, and you can see that so far, to do with fingertips data, we've got 40.5 million rows of data going back to 1998. So I'm going to have a little look at what we've got now. So the way to see, for those of you who are familiar with these tables, the way to see what we have when it comes to fingertips is to use the source field, because it will always be one with a source that has fingertips in the name. Oh yeah, and if I just set discontinued equals near 0, these special fields are explained in the tutorial videos, by the way, but just to say now, discontinued means that table is no longer getting data. In this particular case, the reason for that is one of our customers spotted that we were downloading only one of the geography types, like for this one, the smallest one we could find, counties and unitary authorities, but they asked if we could do all of the geography types. So we created some Python to pull out all the data for all the area types for any profile and put them all in, and then put them into a table called data all areas, like this, with the exception of national GP profiles, because that's so ridiculously massive that we had to keep them split into their separate subcategories. Anyway, right, so this is what we have so far. You can see in that list there, if you pause the video, that there's a lot of the ones that are in this list here. There's still some more to add. Relatively straightforward for us to add them, so just ask. So I'm going to pick one now. Let's go for tobacco. It's as good as any, really. So I'll just add that to the database. I'll pause the video while I do that. Okay, that was just so I could run this. Didn't see any point in you watching me write all that. You basically just run that procedure to get a table added. That's in the tutorial. Right, so let's expand the external tables where it will be now. Local tobacco. Here it is. Select all that. So these fields are the same for all of those fingertips tables. Absolutely superb. You've got the area code, so you'd obviously use the ONS codes table. That's mentioned in one of the tutorial videos. This one here, to get the descriptions. We have got the description in here as well. We don't normally do that, but we did. I don't even know why we did, but we did on the first fingertips data set we imported, and then we just carried on doing that. Ordinarily, we'd normally only do the code, and then you'd use this table to get the current description. So just bear in mind, these are the descriptions that they've got in their system for each code. But if you want the description for the code as at a point in time in the past, or when it might change in the future, if an area code's name changes, then join to this. So with all these different metrics, you'll have sex, age, where it's appropriate, where it's relevant, gender, age, category, time period, and then some values, including confidence intervals and count and denominator for every single metric. Okay, so these ones we're looking at now. This is indicator 1204. So to find out what that indicator means, there is a single table with all of the indicators and their descriptions. I'll just add that too now. That is this one here, PHE fingertips indicator definitions. So if I just refresh this list, there's a lot more tables than what you're seeing here. It's all that's in here is the ones I've so far done Dataspot videos for. There's actually thousands of tables. There it is, fingertips. Now I was going to look up a particular code, 1204. Let's do that. Well, you can do is latest equals 1, but you might want to know the definition at the time in the past. So it's in there 3 times because something about the definition has changed, and you've got the changes here. Those changes, as always, relate to when we downloaded the data, which is just about when the data came out. So what is this indicator? Mortality rate from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's one of them. How many indicators have we got? Let's do a little distinct on here. Insert on. There we go. Let's get rid of the rest. Let's do where is latest equals 1, so we just got the latest definition for each one. So 1,470 indicators. Really don't fill in the full name value, but that's from the API. So yeah, you've got absolutely tons of stuff in here. You'd really need to get into, to find out what they've got without actually getting a license with us, or you can get a free trial license. The way to do it is go to the API and go here, and then the indicator metadata, this one here, indicator metadata all, that will give you a list of all the metadatas which we've imported. So yeah, absolutely loads and loads and loads and loads of codes. Don't really know where to begin with telling you what there is, rather than me just picking out random ones. Yeah, go to this website, fingertips.phe.org.uk, and have a little look at all the different contents that they have. Just pick a profile and then click on start, and yeah, there's the indicators. Just have a play there. We've got it all. It's all translated over to SQL. Right, that's it then. Thanks very much. Bye.